Hello and welcome to the QTV News Desk with me, Solutions. And here we take a look at the stories making headlines. The Zambia Police Service recorded a total of 234 road traffic accidents, out of which 18 were fatal road traffic accidents in which 22 people died during the Christmas period. Suspected PF cadres stormed Health Minister Dr. Chitalu Chilufia's office to disrupt the meeting with EEP President Chilufya Tayali as he engaged the minister over the procurement of ambulances worth $288,000. And in sports, Oriental Quarries boxing promotion has declared Alfred Muwowo fit and ready for the ABU bout scheduled for this weekend. Hello once again, and now the news in detail. The Zambia Police Service recorded a total of 234 road traffic accidents, out of which 18 were fatal road traffic accidents in which 22 people died. 32 were serious, in which 52 people were seriously injured, and 68 were classified as slight injury road traffic accidents in which 90% sustained minor injuries during the Christmas period. Police spokesperson Esther Katongo says from the 22nd of December 2017 at 18 hours to the 26th of December 2017 at 6 hours, Lusaka province recorded 85 road traffic accidents with 3 deaths, followed by Copperbelt with 27 road traffic accidents with 1 death. Eastern Province recorded 24 accidents with 5 deaths. Central had 21 accidents with 2 deaths, and Southern had 19 accidents with 1 death. Ms. Katongo says Northwestern had 18 accidents with no death recorded. Muchinga had 16 with 2 deaths. Western had 9 accidents with 6 deaths. Luapula had 7 accidents with 1 death. Northern had 6 accidents with 1 death, while Kenneth Kaunda International Airport had 2 accidents with no fatality. She says compared to the same period last year, 2016, from the 23rd of December 2016 at 18 hours to the 27th of December 2016 at 6 hours, the country recorded 201 accidents, out of which 15 were fatal road traffic accidents in which 20 people died, 12 were serious road traffic accidents in which 34 people were seriously injured, and 52 were classified as slight injury road traffic accidents in which 69 persons sustained minor injuries. 122 were damages-only road traffic accidents which did not involve any injuries to persons. Ms. Katongo states that the period between 23rd December 2017 and 26th December 2017 was generally peaceful. The police spokesperson says the police will continue conducting foot and motorized patrols during both day and night time, both highways and in communities, to ensure that people celebrate in a crime-free environment. She has since urged members of the public to continue being peaceful as they prepare for 2018.
The country recorded 234 road traffic accidents, out of which 18 were fatal road traffic accidents in which 22 people died. 32 were serious road traffic accidents in which 52 people were seriously injured. 68 were classified as slight injury road traffic accidents in which 90 persons sustained minor injuries. 116 were damages-only road traffic accidents which did not involve any injury to persons. Lusaka province recorded 85 road traffic accidents with 3 deaths, followed by Copperbelt with 27 road traffic accidents with 1 death. Eastern had 24 accidents with 5 deaths. Central had 21 accidents with 2 deaths. Southern Province had 19 accidents with 1 death. Northwestern had 18 accidents with no death recorded. Muchinga had 16 accidents with 2 deaths. Western had 9 accidents with 6 deaths recorded. Luapula had 7 accidents with 1 death. Northern had 6 accidents with 1 death, while Kenneth Kaunda International Airport had 2 accidents with no fatality recorded.
Suspected PF cadres stormed Health Minister Dr. Chitalu Chilufia's office to disrupt the meeting with Economic and Equity Party President Chilufya Tayali as he engaged the Minister of the Procurement of ambulances worth $288,000. The cadres threatened to manhandle the EEP leader when he went to petition the health minister not to procure 50 ambulances at $288,000. The suspected cadres marooned themselves at the Ministry of Health headquarters, waiting for Mr. Tayali, as security at the ministry told Q News that the cadres were not happy with his conduct and how he handled the matter. Mr. Tayali was rescued from the suspected cadres by the health minister, who personally drove him off the Ministry of Health headquarters. And Mr. Tayali has condemned the behavior of the suspected PF cadres, who almost descended on him in Dr. Chilufia's office. Mr. Tayali has told QTV News that despite fruitful deliberations he had with the minister, he is disappointed that cadres openly stormed the minister's office and wanted to manhandle him in the minister's presence. He has, however, thanked Dr. Chilufia for according him with an opportunity to inquire and provide alternatives, advice on the procurement of the equipment. He has since challenged the ministry to make public procurement papers involving the said ambulances by tomorrow, the 27th of December 2017.
Employment. When you see young people, you think...
Fine, no, okay.
Sir, how are you? You know, these are public offices. And when there is an agency, you need to go to a public office. Where do you set an appointment if you don't go to the office?
No.
Let him go through. Yeah. The cameras to switched off. Huh? He's going to the private meeting with the minister. No, it has to
No, sir, the media can remain. I don't want to ambush the minister.
That's fine.
Categorically condemn the behavior of the PF cadres. What they did is really unacceptable. Can you imagine those cadres came all the way into the meeting? We were having a meeting with the minister, with his people, and there were about 8 people in there, directors, including the PS. But those cadres came in and pushed their way. They said they demanded that I should go out so that they can beat me up. The minister was, at pain trying to plead, with them, and they refused. No, degrees in his office, you can imagine. That is anarchical. It is unacceptable. I mean, what I was doing there, I was not insulting the minister. I was basically offering, seeking clarifications. Why should cadres come in? It was unacceptable, and I really condemn it.
National Restoration Party President Elias Chipimo says there is urgent need for concerted efforts to be put in the fight against corruption in the country. The NAREP leader believes that corruption is the main cause of the suffering for most citizens in the country. Mr. Chipimo told Q News in an interview that unfortunately corruption has become a cancer that the country is ignoring despite feeling the pain of it. He notes with concern that the country is trying to curb corruption by engaging in more corrupt activities. Mr. Chipimo has charged that corruption is leading to expiring and loss of drugs in hospitals and the country paying more for goods and services they can access at less prices, such as the recently bought fire trucks.
This issue of corruption, and unfortunately corruption has become part of our culture. It's become a cancer that we are ignoring. We feel the pain of it, but we seem to think that if we just carry on doing the things that we've always done, the pain and the problem will go away. But it's not, because corruption is leading to the loss of drugs in hospitals. It's leading to expired drugs worth $60 million. It's leading to situations where we are paying 2 or 3 times what we should be paying to construct a road. We're paying $750,000 more than we should have been paying for a fire truck. This kind of thing, unfortunately, even though it's public and known about, it's not having an impact enough on the people. And what we need to do as opposition is unite, rally to fight this scourge, because it is the cause of the terrible suffering that the majority majority of people are experiencing in this country.
Minister of Health Dr. Chitalu Chilufya says preparations for the opening of the new 3,000 capacity medical university that will be under the Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital is expected to take place in the first quarter of 2018. Speaking when he toured the facility, which is 90% completed, Dr. Chilufya said the new medical school will help increase the number of health specialists from the current 200 to over 500 by 2021. The minister says the new medical school will have state-of-the-art infrastructure and equipment that will be next to none and will help in ensuring for universal health coverage for Zambians. He has since disclosed that the Ministry of Health has already secured highly trained lecturers to teach at the school.
We are building the 3,000 capacity training institute. It is an annex of the upgraded Levi Mwanawasa University Teaching Hospital. So there are two key projects happening here. The expansion of the hospital into an 850-bed capacity hospital, and also the completion of the training annex. And the aggregate is what is called the Levi Mwanawasa University Teaching Hospital. This is going to change the way we do our human capital development in the health sector, in the sense that come first quarter 2018, we are going to take the first intakes of undergraduates in various health sciences, including medicine and other various health sciences. The total will be 3,000, and some of them will be postgraduate. So we are adding 3,000 new academic spaces for our undergraduates and for our postgraduates combined. Now, this is a game changer. We will now be able to conduct training of specialists that will increase our number of specialists from the current 200 countrywide to more than 500 by the year 2021. That is our strategic intent, clearly stated in our national
Millers Association of Zambia MAZ chairperson Andrew Chintala has bemoaned the slow intake of grains into the mills, especially in Lusaka and on the Copper Belt. Mr. Chintala has appealed to farmers holding on to the grains to release it to millers. Mr. Chintala has expressed concern that millers are not buying maize as expected because other farmers are thinking that there would be better prices next year. He has allayed fears that farmers holding on to their maize risk compromising the quality of the grains they are holding in anticipation of better prices. Mr. Chintala says if farmers do not release the grains, the country will run out of maize on the open market.
I can only appeal to those farmers that are still holding on to the grain, because looking at the time where we're in, they risk compromising the quality of the grain that they're holding. I think in anticipation of a better price probably come January or so. So our call is that those farmers that are still holding on to the grain should release the grain to the millers. We have a very, very huge concern, especially in Lusaka and Copperbelt, that millers are not buying maize as expected, because others are thinking there may be a better price in January and all that. So I hope that those that are responsible in terms of representing the farmers could actually engage their members and encourage them to release the grain onto the open market, so that at least we can continue with the smooth operations as millers as well, to try and continue producing maize and ensuring that the prices and the supply of the commodity is stabilized and is just as normal as usual. But if we continue at the pace we are going, I think I can foresee a situation where we run out of maize on the open market, and which will start triggering certain other things, and probably that might also compel us to appeal to government and engage FRA to offload. But we appeal that farmers that are holding on to the grain should release it forthwith on the market, so that we can continue, I think, as we've been operating for the last 3 months or so.
Chavuma UPND Member of Parliament Victor Lumai says he has received information suggesting that government has given a mining license to an investor at the Zambezi River source with sadness. Mr. Lumai says if the allegations are true, then government should immediately revoke the license. He says mining at the source of the river comes with so many environmental challenges, which he says should not be condoned. He says environmental consequences from the source may not just affect people in Ikelengi, but many others who have recently benefited from it.
I think it has been discovered that the government has given a license to somebody to do mining where the Zambezi River source comes from in Ikelengi. I think as Member of Parliament from Northwestern Province, I would ask government, if that is true, to stop that license, because when you do a mining at the source of Zambezi River, you are saying you want the river to dry up, because when there is mining at the source, automatically Zambezi River is going to dry up, and it's going to affect a lot of communities in Zambia. So as Member of Parliament from that province, I am very much against these activities of mining at the Zambezi River source, because it will affect all of us in this country.
India, through Antrex Corporation, a company under the Department of Space, has called on Zambia to work together in the provision of advanced remote sensing technology. Antrex Corporation Chairman, Managing Director Sasibhushan Rakesh says the technology will help various government departments to obtain information necessary for planning and executing tasks. Mr. Rakesh explains that the technology will provide early warning systems through high-resolution live space data, which is key in disaster management, water, land use, aviation, fisheries, and agriculture, among others. Speaking in Bangalore when Zambia's High Commission to India, Judith Kapichimpanga, toured Antrex Corporation, Mr. Rakesh said the technology will also help the country to detect depletion of forest covers, which affects biodiversity. He has added that the information will also be necessary in urban planning and settlement, population planning, as well as socio-economic decisions that affect sustainable development. And Ms. Kapichimpanga says Zambia is interested in technology that will help in strengthening early warning systems, as the country has recently experienced droughts that affected energy generation and food security. Ms. Kapichimpanga has called on Antrex Corporation to start offering specialized training to Zambians in the stakeholder ministries in remote sensing technologies as they await the final process for the handling of the proposal. She has since called on Antrex Corporation experts to travel to Zambia in order to discuss the matter further with technocrats in all the stakeholder ministries in the interest of benchmarking. This is contained in a statement made available by First Secretary Press and Tourism at the Zambia Ministry in India, Bangwe Navile.
ISRO is in the process of launching very high resolution, very high capability remote sensing satellite in the future, and that gives us an opportunity to get to the market and build this remote sensing market. And in that context, probably Zambia also will be interested in knowing the capabilities. And
this helps you to narrow down to find out the locations which will give you the potable water, and also the areas which can be used for recharging the rainwater. So this is one of the such applications which has been operationally done, and it has been implemented in the country. That is called the drinking water application. And
also through Ministry of Lands, in terms of cartography, surveying, and so on, would need this this remote sensing technology, communications and technology, also further in our land use and management, our forestries.
Mental Health Foundation of Zambia President Potiphar Gwai says stigma is the biggest obstacle to recovery, treatment, and social acceptance for people living with mental illness. Mr. Gwai says there is need to fight stigma as it interferes with people getting treatment. He has told Q News that public stigma may also influence the beliefs and behaviors of those close to individuals with mental illness. Mr. Gwai says there is need to address the negative attitudes and prejudice associated with mental ill health in the workplace, homes, and community, and spread the understanding of practices that support good mental health. He has cautioned that everyone can be prone to mental illness and that prevention and speaking early treatment is paramount.
The main obstacle to mental health care in our country is stigma. There is too much stigma from our communities. The reason is simple, it's just because of lack of knowledge. This is the time as a country we need to rise up. We want everybody to be involved in terms of sensitizing about mental health issues. We want the media houses to report accurately about mental health. We need celebrities to come on board to sensitize people about mental health. We need everybody, government officials, policymakers, to sensitize about mental health issues, because if we combat stigma, it means the levels of mental health in Zambia will be risen. Because the thing we have to mind ourselves that mental illness is just like any other disease. If HIV and AIDS, when it came, people used to run away from those things, but after there was too much sensitization, everybody was accepted. The same can be done also in the mental health.
God Cathedral of Miracles Senior Pastor Naison Nyonyo is calling on politicians in the country to shun actions and utterances capable of causing violence in Zambia. Bishop Naison says it is important that politicians refrain from making inflammatory remarks capable of inciting citizens to rise against the government of the day. He says political leaders should watch their conduct as the clock ticks towards 2018. Pastor Naison says he expects political leaders in 2018 to desist from hate speech and inflammatory remarks that could inflame passions and create hostility among the various communities in the country. Lusaka-based politician Patrick Mungo has commended government for steadily maintaining the economic stability of the country in 2017. Mr. Mungo says government has been on course when ensuring that the nation's developmental agenda is on course. He, however, says the handling of national resources should ensure that the less privileged in society can afford basic necessities. He tells Q News that it doesn't make sense for the country's economy to be performing well on paper while ordinary Zambians keep languishing in poverty.
Like in 2017, as it really started, improving. So we hope the people who are in charge of the national planning to do better, as well as the economic performance of the country, so that the less privileged people in our society can afford to acquire the minimum of basic requirements in order for them to earn a living. We are talking about food because those are the most essential. Without food, I think the country cannot be called a country. So these are some of my personal aspirations I'm really looking for to see in 2018 to bring a change for the better in order for us to improve the lives of all meaningful Zambians, economically, politically, and socially.
And in sports news, Oriental Quarries boxing promotion has declared Alfred Muwowo fit and ready for the ABU bout scheduled for this weekend. Africa Boxing Union ABU flyweight champion Alfred Muwowo will face Dalisizwe Komani of South Africa in a title defense fight this Saturday, the 30th of December 2017. Muwowo won the belt on the 2nd of July this year after beating Tanzania's Juma Hagi in Ndola. And Oriental Quarries Promotions has raised a total of 52,000 kwacha for this weekend's bout, leaving a deficit of 48,000 kwacha to be raised. Speaking during the unveiling of the latest sponsors of the bout in Lusaka, Oriental Boxing Promotion coach Mike Zulu expressed confidence in Alfred Muwowo beating his opponent Komani from South Africa this weekend. Zulu said he has confidence in all the boxers who taking part in this weekend's bout, such as the likes of Catherine Peary.
What I can tell you is that you've heard from the horse's mouth. He's very much ready. We've been camped almost for 6 months now. And how confident am I about him doing it? I've got confidence, and I believe that he, at the peak he has reached now, I think we are building a new world champion in terms of male boxers in Zambia. I've got confidence, and I'm assuring all the fans out there, including you yourself, come and support us as you always are supporting us. Look, you're here. So I'm appealing to the fans out there to say, please come and support us, because we can't do without the fans. And come that day, we are going to carry the day.
Oriental Quarries Boxing Promotions, OQBP Operations Manager Christopher Malunga announced that Zesco, 24/7 stores, Mika Group of Hotels, and Onions and Greens are the latest sponsors that have come on board to sponsor the bout, both in monetary form and in kind. Zesco has contributed 20,000, while Mika Group of Hotels has contributed a total of 12,000. Onions and Greens 15,000 kwacha towards the hosting of the bout and will offer accommodation to all the 4 ring boxes, while 24/7 stores has contributed 15,000 kwacha worth of groceries and 500 United States dollars cash. Malunga has since expressed confidence of raising the remaining 48,000 kwacha deficit by Saturday, the 30th of December 2017.
From our sponsors or our partners are more than 63, and the list of the sponsors now goes as we have now. Just hold on, I go straight to the list of the sponsors. We have Oriental Quarries as the main sponsor. Then we have Big Tree, platinum sponsor. Then we have Topster. Then we have Zamtel. Then we have Mika Group of Hotels. We have Zesco. We have 24/7 supermarkets. Then we have Jimakape Investment. Jimakape Investment, their sponsorship is in kind, and they always come on board by making sure that they give our boxers all the fruits which are needed for them for nutrition. I think they've done it. We have been with them for more than 4 years also. Then we have also Manzi Valley. They've been with us also for more than 4 years. I think they have done extremely very well. They supply water to our gym, and whenever we have an event, Manzi Valley brings in the water. Then we have ZNBC, Wogarajo, and the sound system with lighting system, another big sponsor coming on board. This is a very big sponsorship. I'll announce it. This sponsorship, we could have paid, reduce it to by 21,000, by 15,000. 21 because they're giving us in kind. We're supposed to pay lighting and 21,000. We are paying them only 6,000. Then they are sponsoring 15,000. So let's reduce the budget by 15. This 15,000 comes from Onion and Greens. Onion and Greens, they are specialized in lighting and also sound system. They have been with us, I think, for...
That's all we had in the news. A recap of the headlines. The Zambia Police Service recorded a total of 234 road traffic accidents, out of which 18 were fatal road traffic accidents in which 22 people died during the Christmas period. Suspected PF cadres this morning stormed Health Minister Dr. Saleh Chilufia's office to disrupt the meeting with the EEP President Chilufia Tali as he engaged the minister over the procurement of the ambulances worth 288,000 United States dollars. For more news, you can visit www.qtvzambia.com. My name is Peluchin Zenge, present you, and Merry Christmas.